Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Phelps. My co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's TV Reality Cast. You are listening to Love Island Recap, Season 7, Episode 18. Now, Chris, we're back. We had a brief hiatus there. How was your weekend?
It was very good, Dave, and I take it all on the chin because my wonderful daughter loves the Formula One, and we were at the Silverstone racetrack watching Lewis Hamilton win. Quite controversial, Dave, but it was an amazing weekend. So sorry we didn't do it on Friday, Saturday, guys, but I was driving down, and you were going to do a solo one, weren't you, Dave? But I think it was probably for the best we didn't.
Yeah, so I messaged you on Saturday. I did say before that, I did say before Friday's episode that I would do a solo episode and just recap. It's obviously not the same when we're not bouncing off each other. But Chris, I was in such a negative frame of mind around the whole show, and it all revolves around this Danny character. And honestly, I just thought, well, there's nothing that I can say that is positive and that is not just a complete rant. And I thought, well, we'll give it the weekend, and Love Island will have chucked him out of the villa. And it seems no, Chris. And one of the things that was winding me up, quite honestly, 2 years ago, Sharif, a black guy, got chucked out for apparently using the See Next Tuesday. And in a play game, he accidentally kicked Molly, in the privates. That was apparently what he was chucked out for. And then there was nothing even in the show, was it? It was just like, Sharif has left the villa. Something like this. This guy, as Friday night's episode was going on, it was coming out all over social media. Someone strolled through, and this guy has used the N-word on his social media. Utterly unacceptable. He's not done it in like an aggressive way, but that doesn't excuse it. And I just thought, well, that's fucking bad enough. The next minute we get, so Vivian had, I haven't been able, this isn't in any of the papers, and I haven't been able to verify it, so I'm going to speak very lightly about this. But there was an incident at a school where he's injured a disabled girl, allegedly. But I've not seen this hit any of the papers or anything. It looks like the tweet's been deleted. So, but, all these just negative vibes around him. Also, someone's been trolling his ex-girlfriend, flew out to Mallorca. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, Chris. The girlfriend that he broke up with 5 months ago, like just around about the time of the Love Island casting would have been. And I was just like, and also this guy, comes from very close to where I grew up. So I know him. I know people like him. And even though it's not the same, basically, Chris, this is the guy, the bully out of In-Betweeners?
Yep.
This is who Danny is. And, he comes in and he's like, oh, yeah, I'm an example of a judging a book by its cover. I've got layers. He's not got layers. But also, if what you're trying to say is it's an example of not judging a book by its cover, I think is what he was trying to say. So, Chris, I'd have just been on a fucking tirade. So I just decided people listen to us, I think, for, our bants, Chris. I hate that word.
Get out,
but, how we fucking take the piss out of all of this. And I was just like, you know what? Honestly, Chris, on Saturday, I was just like, fuck this show. If they don't get rid of this fucking twat, fuck this show. That's how I felt. So that's why there's no episode in the last one.
I think it's really
what do you think?
Well, you're right. Danny's from an area sort of in between both of us. He's actually from Wigan, isn't he? But he does sound Mancunian. I'll give him that.
Well, it's Loughton. I know
Loughton.
The press pack, it said Wigan, but it's not. It's Loughton.
Loughton's sort of Warrington, isn't it? Warrington, Wigan, it's right on the board. I know Loughton well, but because there's a lot of bus shelters get destroyed there. But there you go.
Really?
It's part of my job, yeah. Hey. No, what I would say is, Danny, I don't like him at all. And this, not just because of what's come out in the press and that's bad enough as it is. And look, he's covered in tattoos, all that. So people are like, oh, he looks a bit of a bad boy and all that. Yeah, that's fine. But what I don't like about him, just watching his actions in the Villa from the first episode on Friday and tonight's episode, is he's got this jealous streak that you can see. And it's all right saying I'm a straight up guy. I'm worried for what's going to happen because he is not a Love Island contestant. Now, I've said before, we need somebody else here. We need someone to rock it up, give a bit of straight talking, just give it to him. Because these people do live in a bubble. But I'm even questioning myself now, thinking, was I right in that thinking? Because they basically brought someone from the street in who is very streetwise. He's very cocksure of himself. He's completely different from what I can see of any of the other contestants. And he stands out by a mile, Dave. He's trying to be nice. We've called out fake good guys and stuff. This guy, he might be, to his friends, one of the greatest guys ever. But I think in the context of Love Island, he stands out so much, Dave, as a proper loose cannon. I want drama. I always get a lot of punch up and all that stuff. But then I'm thinking, these people don't know what he's about. And we don't know. We're only going off the show and what other people have said. Things can be distorted on social media and that. But the stuff that's come out is quite telling. And I just don't like him. I don't necessarily think what Aaron did was right. But what I would say, Dave, the villain for the episode for me was fucking Lucinda. Because when she's telling him, he's going, I'm going to have a word with Aaron. Oh, I think that's quite fit, actually. It's really fit. I'm like, you're the reason guys go into pubs and get fucking battered because you love this sort of conference. Two guys fighting over you. Like, you need to grow up.
I think, well, to me, a curse on all their houses. Yeah. Lucinda's not getting off scot-free either. I do think, you need someone to wind up as well, so they're both equally culpable. I think Aaron did absolutely the square root of fuck all. Danny kept going on, there's a time and a place. I'm like, yeah, fucking 9 o'clock on Love Island. That's the time and the fucking place for it. What the fuck did he do that's wrong? It's fucking Love Island. You know what I mean? Danny thinks he's picked Lucinda, so he thinks he has possession over her. He is incredibly possessive. And all this stuff, and he just thinks he's cock of the block. Right. Yeah. He thinks he's fucking so hard as well. And I tell you what, if those cameras weren't there, then I think that'd be a different situation, to be honest. But you're right. Lucinda doesn't get off scot-free because did you hear what she said? She was like, when Danny was going on, he was clearly wound up. And he's like, right, I'm going to have a word with him, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, that's so hot.
That's what I mean.
Really. That's you've just literally walked over from telling Aaron that if there was a recoupling, you'd couple up with him. And all right, she swerved the kiss and stuff because it was in full view of Danny. So she wanted to kind of get out of that situation. But you're telling this fucking psycho, oh, it's so hot when you fucking act in those psycho ways and all those red flags. Oh, I'm fucking wet now.
Yeah, it's pathetic. It is. You know what I'd say, Dave? I don't think she likes anybody in there. And I'm sticking to what I said. She is brand Lucinda. She has got the ick for Danny. Really? What? Really? She's got the ick. Me. She's got the we're rather too good at that, Dave. But I said she's a very clever girl. She knows what she wants. She doesn't want Aaron and she doesn't want Danny. You can clearly see she's with Danny. And as soon as he picked her, she's like, oh, fuck, I'm fucked here. I'm going to have to go with this for the purpose of the show. She's the biggest game player. Danny's just stupid and he's wearing his heart on his sleeve, whatever you think. And I will give Danny some credit, though, Dave, because when he called Aaron a snake and everything, like you said, that's part of the game. I don't necessarily think Aaron did a lot wrong, but I sort of understand where he's coming from. But in the context of the game, it's fucking Love Island. That's the whole point of this. Look at AJ the other day with Liam and Millie. They were sat there cuddling and she comes straight over and goes, have a word with you. And fucking Millie's grinding her teeth. But that is Love Island. what I would say, Dave, to give him a slightly little bit of praise, he was right what he said to her about calling her out, about saying, I need to know, what's going on. Are you just playing me? I'll move on and stuff. And Lucinda's never come across someone so straight talking who's telling her the truth. I'm not saying he's right, Dave, because I don't like him, but I do think that conversation was brilliant, because that is fucking Love Island 101.
I don't know. I thought that was a bit fucking gaslightery, me. I thought already he was displaying those possessive vibes. So he's basically like, am I just wasting my time here or what?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fucking Love Island. You've been in there 24 fucking hours. Aaron's known her for a lot longer than you have, matey.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not going to give him credit for that. I thought it was another red flag, and it made me feel a bit fucking uncomfortable, to be honest. If he's like this after 24 hours, what's he going to be like in an actual relationship?
No, Dave, that's what I'm saying. I just like the facts. I agree with you completely. I'm not saying he's a great guy, because I don't think he is. I just think Lucinda, from another angle, is as bad as Danny from a different perspective in the game. She is just about her brand, she's not going to get with fucking nobody in this show, Dave. Let's be honest. Not one person.
But also, do you think Lucinda's been in this situation before? Obviously
maybe.
Not in the last fucking 12 months.
No, yeah.
Nightclubs haven't been open or anything, but, causing trouble between lads, and basically she's talking out of both sides of her mouth, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's saying one thing to Aaron. I mean, Aaron fucking, I think he was being a bit too cocky when he'd leaning over for the kiss.
Oh, Dave, that was
gold. All the fucking signals, though.
Well,
It was gold.
It's gold. He got fucking pied. That's what Love Island's about for me.
that moment will be replayed over and over and over again.
Oh, Dave, if he's got any good friends, they will rip the piss out of him, Dave. They will rip him.
I did Teddy and Hugo were taking the piss out of him, weren't they? And saying, he got completely swerved. And it was just sort of a laughing thing. But then it just all turned very sinister with, fucking Danny beckoning Aaron over. Aaron. It's not Aaron, it's Steve. But yeah.
I'm Steve. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So yeah, I just honestly, Chris, he's bad news, like in every way, and I'm just annoyed at the double standards. I can't believe I'm really fucking disappointed in ITV, to be honest. They needed to address this, because there's been a statement. So someone's spoken to Danny inside the villa. He's said he's learned his lessons and whatever. Yeah, fucking right. Yeah,
of course you have, mate.
Whatever. So yeah, but in order to proceed, I guess we're just going to have to move on. But it leaves a really nasty taste in my mouth. And he is going to be bad news. Now, we love the drama, but I think you like the situations to kind of create the drama and see that unfold. You don't want to see someone like who you think could quite easily fucking shank someone.
Yeah.
Well, I think no, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, to be fair. And I think when Danny pulled Aaron was having none of it. I'm telling you now, Dave, Aaron can look after himself. He was not fazed by what Danny's fucking saying to him. He was not bothered one bit. He was dead cool, Aaron. He was like, yeah, whatever, mate. Okay, you keep doing your tough guy act and all that. Aaron was not interested. Look, it makes a great talking point. I agree with you. Danny should not be in there. I just like Lucinda getting called out slightly because she's gone under the radar. But I'll tell you someone else who's in my firing line, Dave, and they might be taken in by him.
Guess?
Go on.
Hugo? Is it?
No, it's not actually.
All right, okay.
Oh, I'll let you talk. It was Jake, because I thought he was stirring it up. He's known Aaron for weeks, and then all of a sudden he's telling Danny to go and do this, and this. I don't know whether there's beef there. I don't think there is, but I thought that was a bit snaky from Jake. I was like, why are you getting involved in this?
He's also, basically saying he's winding him up as well, isn't he? He's saying, it's bang out of order. So he's validating what Danny thinks there. But he's also, this fucking so-called love that you have for Brad, who was infatuated with Lucinda. You're saying to this bloke you've known for a day, go and crack on with his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Jake is fucking... Can we talk about the preview for tomorrow as well? Where
Go
he's
for it.
slugging the face off Kaz?
Oh, dear.
We've been waiting for this from Jake, haven't we, all the
Yeah.
time? He thinks he's fucking the bollocks, and he's just a fucking shrunken George Michael.
I think that's the more politically appropriate way I choose to say. I agree. Look, Dave, it's naughty. And he might be also doing it because he thinks, look, he could be genuine with Liberty, but I don't think he is. But also, he's playing the game. So if he causes disruption with these other couples, they're plain sailing for that fucking 50 grand at the moment. Them two are absolutely plain sailing it. Really are. And is he doing it because of that? It's a game at the end of the day. You know,
it's one of the weakest strong couples, though, in any of the Love Island series that we've watched.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I know Charlene's going back and watching season 2, and you've got, I know you didn't see it, Dave, but you've got Katie and Scott Thomas, and they were so strong from literally day dot. There was a little bit of disruption, but they were a couple. Do you know what I mean? Like a proper couple. Other series exactly the same. They're the best of a bad bunch, aren't they? Really, that's you've not got much slim pickings. But go on, Dave. Tell me about Hugo. Then I want to hear it.
I mean, part of the context is obviously we start off with the recoupling, which is probably one of the most predictable recouplings ever.
Yeah,
and they dragged it out for 10 minutes, and I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? We all know how this is going to go. Sharon's going to go home." It's a joke that they dragged that shit out for 10 minutes. But then you sort of think, well, Hugo, he's been in Friend Island for a while, hasn't he? And AJ's the first person to actually show an interest in him. And he's just not interested at all. He can't even sort of play the game and act it. And it's just like, you know what? If you get someone who's actually coming in, making a play for you, it's fine to not, you know, you don't have to play the game, but just fuck off then. You know, you're not going to play along and play the game, then fine, go. Get someone else in the villa, because right now he's just occupying a space. He amuses me because of that kind of David Brent, Alan Partridge vibe that he has. But it's like, look, it's fucking week 4 now.
Yeah, what have you done?
You've done nothing.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't think AJ wants to be with him, Dave. I know she's picked him. I think she's picked him. It's the same thing again.
But she's playing the game.
That's what I'm saying. It's this game. There's no one else she can pick, and she doesn't want to piss the girls off. So she's not going to go for Liam because she was interested in him, because that'll just be that's absolutely just kick off. But that probably, you know, Danny's done something similar. I'm sure he would do that and come in and do it. And I think AJ, she's more aware of the room than Danny, and probably Danny won't be in here for much longer. But I don't necessarily think they're not going to be a couple, Dave. Not at all. Hugo, I don't know what it is about Hugo. There's always that he's a great guy. He's a great friend, but I don't necessarily think he'd be a great boyfriend, because he has no awareness of the other person's feelings. And I don't know. There's just something off about him, I think, in a relationship. He might just be nerves. I don't know.
I still say, I mean, I think I'd get on with him because he reminds me of David Brent. But he's a good friend in that, like, his comedy's just a bit off, isn't it? He tries to be like in with the lads and stuff, but it's just something that doesn't like quite hit. I think it's very rare that I see something where he'll say something and I'll laugh at what he said. It's more like, you know, in a fucking Gareth or David Brent sort of style. It's like you're laughing at him, not with him, kind of thing. Yeah. Because, like I say, it's something just off about his whole energy. And yeah, I know there's lots of love out there for Hugo, but for me, I'm sort of done with him. It's like, all right, come on, it's a joke now. I mean, he can't even sort of play along to just get to Casa Amor, you know? What's the point?
No, I agree. Shaz has gone, as we always say, Friend Island. Hugo's got to go, Dave. I completely agree. But I've got a little theory, Dave. A little reality radar theory, my friend. So
we need a theme tune for this reality radar.
It's the most inaccurate fucking radar we've ever seen. It's a bit like a weatherman. It's not going to rain tomorrow. Oh, it's fucking thunder and lightning. Well done there. No, what award? This is my opinion. I think Kaz has got the feels for Aaron. And he's playing at its friend and he picks her again and all that. That cat and mouse game, Dave, you don't kiss your friend like that, my friend. I think she's trying to lay a marker down to Aaron to say, look, I'm right in front of you. I know you're saying we're friends, we've been up front, but I think she's got a bit of a feel for him. I really do. And I think it might be too late for him before he realizes that there is something there, because that kiss was not just what you kiss your friend, Dave.
No, I agree. I think there was a lot in that. But I don't know. I just feel like if that was going to happen, like I say, we're week 4, I think it'd have happened by now.
Yeah. I think they're two nice people, so it'd be nice for them to get together. But again, like you said about Hugo and Shaz has obviously just gone, you can't keep having these people in there on a fucking Jolly Boys all-inclusive holiday if you're not going to get together. That's not Love Island, whether they're great people or not. That's not. And it's happened. I remember the guy in the Australian first season who was the model, and he was everyone's friend's one age. Is it Justin?
Yeah.
He's called Justin.
He was the kangatarian, wasn't he? Kangaroo.
He was.
I'm not making that up.
Oh, no, you're not. I know you're not. But he was I think it was Justin. He was everyone's friend.
I think it was Justin.
Yeah, and he just didn't get anywhere, and he left. And he was a great lad and all that, but nobody was for him. Everyone who come in was like, oh, it's for Justin. It's just like, oh. And he literally did a Hugo. He was sort of like their version of Hugo. So you're right, Kaz, Sharon, and Hugo. It's not fucking Friend Island. Get your bags and go.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Chris, I'm seeing more potential in the likes of, Faye and Teddy. I mean, what do you reckon about how Teddy put down AJ when she's clearly got eyes for him? We don't see that often, do we? We like, or not we like, but we see a lot where people leave that grey area open. But Teddy was just like, I'm liking where I am with Faye, and shut it down completely.
Yeah, he did, to be fair. And AJ had explored that with him. I think AJ, in the end, I think Liam was the one she was more prominent to, but there was definitely something there. Teddy's a good guy, David. So I stick to what I said. Yeah. He is a man, basically. These other people in there. At the moment, next episode will be like, oh my God, he's got
a maturity about him. But
yeah, he's snugged everyone.
Episode, it's not so much that. He'll just do something like really childish or something.
Yeah, and I think he brings a lot of good out in Faye as well. We've been quite critical of Faye because she has been all over the place. I mean, the way she reacted to Shaz going, it makes me laugh. All of them, it fucking annoys me. It's like cat's died or something, or the dog, or there's some traumatic experience. Being
sent off to the Hunger Games.
Yes, yeah, exactly. It's absolutely nonsense the way they react, but it is part of the show. Everyone's so upset and consoling. I think what Teddy's good for with Faye is he doesn't stand for a bullshit. She's very, very self-centered at times, and it's all me. And I think he grounds her to say, no, it's 50-50. And at the moment, they're looking like a strong couple, Dave. They could go under the radar. I know we think about Faye, she's come out with some cracking one-liners and then she'll let herself down with some sniping. But Dave, we're all like that, really. Let's be honest. We all like to snipe and fucking bitch. Everyone's the same, whether you think it or not. That's just life. But I think they could potentially be in the top 2 if things carry on.
Yeah. And I think definitely the only thing that Jake and Liberty have got is they've just been together for longer, but we've been waiting for Jake to wobble. And I don't think the next episode will be that proper wobble. But the whole kiss with Kaz in the challenge, Snog, Marry, Avoid, I think will spark a few arguments maybe. What do you reckon to Toby and Chloe?
Just going under the radar again. They're another one that they're not doing anything, are they really? They're quite boring now. They're together. Chloe's been there. She was observing a couple of the other things, like Lucinda and Danny's conversation. Got very awkward. I'm not sure, Dave. They could end up getting booted out because they're not really doing anything now.
Maybe. I don't know. I see it a slightly different way. That actually, I think there might be something there. You know, it was people aren't going to like the way she went for Toby initially, but they do seem to be getting on really quite well.
Yeah, Dave, they are. That's what I mean. If they're going under the radar, that's a good thing as well.
Yeah,
there's no drama, not yet. Anyway, but anyway, Mr. Horrocks, we have a couple of emails as well. So our good friend Yaron, who's emailed before, and he's put, he's from Israel, Dave, if I remember correctly. Hi guys, just heard your pod about episode 15 of Love Island UK. Wanted to mention that Faye's reaction to Lucinda staying and not going with Brad is just caused by wanting less tough competition around. For the same reason she whispered in Lucinda's ear, kiss him, when he grabbed her for a chat. Just to match him with someone she's not interested in. Same reason she didn't warn her like she did with Chloe that Brad's conversation skills are not amazing. Cheers, Yaron. So I can't really argue with that, Dave.
Yeah.
And we've had one from our good friend Denise.
Weirdly, right? Brad was on After Sun, and he validated what Faye had said about them being best mates.
It's weird. We never saw that, Dave. And again, a bit like what's going on the US series with these Paramount Plus episodes. These behind-the-scenes episodes are better. They fill out people's personalities a lot better than the story we're being told. But obviously, you've got to take it for what it is at the moment. So we've had one from Lucinda. Sorry, Denise. I've crossed Denise and Lucinda there. There's a new one, Lucinda. Denise is not going to be happy. Sorry. It's the Lucinda show she's put. It's Lucinda's world and all of us are all just bit part players in it. This modern day version of Cupid doll is a savvy one. She knows exactly what she's doing with the coy voice and her preteen looks. It's driving the boys wild. The only question remains, really? How far will this game plan take her? Will viewers save her in a public vote? From Denise. Thanks, Denise. That's a great one. I'm sorry if I can't believe I've just called her Lucinda. I'm sorry, Denise. Send another email in. Dave can read that out and tell me off. But look, these things pointing with Lucinda, Dave, I'm sticking to that. I'm telling you, definitely on something. Definitely.
Yeah, if there was a vote now, I'd want Danny and Lucinda out. They're just, in very different ways, they need to go.
Yeah, I agree. So, big thank you to everyone as always, guys. Our patrons, patreon.com/CD Reality Cast. Big roll call of honor. Deep breath, Chris. So we've got Libby, Katie, Dee Dee, Hannah, Ed, Priscilla, Susan, Hennessy Green, Hayley, Tracy, Lauren, Lucky Lulu Green, and Ken Gustafson. Absolutely brilliant on our Discord channel with all our patrons. So we're having a great time over there. And we're also having a brilliant time on Facebook as well. Chris and Dave's Reality TV cast, all run by our great friend Charlene. Get over there, guys. We'll approve you and just get the chat going about all the shows that we do and we love. Also, if you want to follow us on social media, at CD Reality Cast. And if you want to email us, like the guys have just done, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. So, Mr. Horrocks, it starts again tomorrow. Another week, another load of Love Island nonsense. But we are in, my friend.
Well, I'll speak to you next time.
Bye.